Hey, look in the air, smoke filling everywhere. And hey, look on the ground, there's blood spilling all around. And we live in the garden of Eden. Don't know why we want to tear the whole thing to the ground. We live in the garden of Eden. Don't know why we want to tear the whole thing down. Look at the green, green tree. It ain't quite as green, green as it used to be. Hey, look at the cool, clear water. It ain't quite as cool, clear as it ought to be. We live in the garden of Eden, yeah. Don't know why we want to tear the whole thing to the ground. We live in the garden of Eden, yeah. Don't know why we want to tear the whole thing down. Hey, look at the people. Sometimes we forget that we're just people, 'cause we're falling head over heels. Sometimes we forget quite how to feel.